Welcome back to the Angie McPherson Show. We are back with part 2 of my conversation with my girl Janine Mix, all about transforming your money mindset. If you missed part 1, I highly recommend that you pause this episode, go back and listen to part 1 of my conversation with Janine. I've had so many DMs and emails and messages about this episode, so be sure to catch up on that episode before you dive into episode 2. Okay, did you catch up? Are you back? So just a reminder, Janine went from being 6 figures in debt to becoming a 7-figure entrepreneur. And in the last episode, we talked about our money stories, and Janine shared insights on overcoming debt-related shame and guilt, getting crystal clear on your financial goals, and creating lasting wealth. And today, in part 2 of this money series, Janine dives into the importance of understanding debt as a tool for creating wealth. And she also shares her 7-step prosper path and how money can really be used to make such a positive impact on the world. So let's pick it up right where we left off with Janine Mix.
Financial freedom looks different to everybody, but you have to define that. If you have no definition, you have no end goal, then again, you're going to never arrive or never know if you have arrived. Or you're going to accept and adopt someone else's version of financial freedom, which is like 3 Lamborghinis and I don't think that that's what really fulfills people.
Right.
So you have to ask yourself, what does financial freedom mean to you? Because for so long, it's been defined as, well, I'm debt free.
Right.
I know a lot of debt free broke people. And I don't say that lightly, you know what I mean? But like, I know a lot of debt free broke people still living paycheck to paycheck who have nothing saved up for their future. Are they financially free? They might feel better, and we can talk about that too. They might feel better because they don't owe anybody anything. But are they financially free? Because I paid off my $120,000 of student loans. And I remember calling in and like on that last payment, it was like 38 grand. And I was like, I'm calling to pay off my final loan. And he goes, okay, let me get that account number and blah. And he goes through the process and he goes, well, congratulations. And I was like, that was like really a big deal for me. So then no one was around when I did it. Ryan was gone. And I was like, okay, I'm going to call my mom. My mom's going to care. She's seen me lose sleep in tears. I call my mom. Mom, I paid off my final student loan. And she's like, that's real sweet, honey. So, oh my gosh, it was really windy today. And I was just like, there's another day. And did it actually change my day-to-day life? Not really. You know, I'm not saying hold debt that is harming you. And we can talk about the different types of debt. You should look at not all debt is created equal. But what are you giving up in your life and in your living and in your health and in your emotional state and your, psychology and all? What are you giving up to this one area of your finances?
Yeah.
It's just one area that has a solution. You can pay off your debt. You can cut some expenses. You can make more. You can tackle that debt.
Right.
Or maybe the debt is something that you leverage or use, like I have, like business loans have. Not a lot of people start their business with just cash. And it takes a lot longer, if you're going to say, okay, no debt ever, but I want to invest in real estate. Do you know how long it's going to take you to buy homes with cash? It's going to take you 10 times as long versus leveraging a construction loan, leveraging private money, leveraging other people's money where they get to be the bank and they make money and you make money and no bank is making the money, which is great. Like money in the hands of the people. There's so many different things that you can do with debt. You have to understand not all debt is created equal. I don't like using terms like good debt and bad debt. I don't like that. You're giving emotions to debt. Debt has no feelings. Money has no feelings and emotions. It doesn't care that I paid it off. Okay. I feel better. Great. Okay. Yes, it helped us with a payment. Great. Okay. You may not be in a position like where maybe that debt is at a low interest rate. Is it the best to go pay off that large chunk of that debt right now? Or can you make more money? I'll give you by using the cash that you would have to pay off the debt. I'll give you an example. I bought a Mercedes and I was like, okay, I could pay this right now in cash.
Right.
Or knowing what I know, I got like a 2% interest rate on my car. It's a 6-year term. I think it's like, in the 6 years, I'm going to pay an extra $5,000 for my car.
Okay.
Or which is what I did, instead of paying that lump sum on a vehicle, which is a liability, I'm not going to make any money from this unless I'm maybe Ubering, which I'm not. So this is a full liability. Or I can take that cash. And what I did was I bought a 2-bedroom house. I actually bought a corner. It was 26 apartments, a duplex, a triplex, and a house, a single family house on one corner. And that one house, not the whole thing, the one house, the 3-bedroom house, pays the mortgage through the rent, or pays my car loan through the rent for my Mercedes. So I have a tenant that's paying for my car. I don't care about the extra interest because I'm making more money on the appreciation, on the rental income. That cash is better used over here to make me, to pay off that vehicle. And that's how I paid off my loans in, a few short years, not 30. Because I leveraged a different type of debt that's making me wealthier, creating more income, creating passive income. It's appreciating in value. It's an amazing tax write-off. Like, there's so many tax deductible benefits of real estate, which is another reason why I like real estate versus stocks. You can do both. I do have both. Primarily, we're in real estate. So all of that wouldn't have happened if I didn't understand debt. And so I want to give you a really quick analogy, because I know people on here are either like, you're one of two things. You're like, this girl's crazy. She's telling me I should be in debt and stay in debt. And that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying not all debt is created equal. You need to put that in your plan. I have a whole debt section in my 5-step money planner that you can get in the show notes. So go through that, list out your debt. You can figure out which ones you want to tackle or which ones you're going to put off strategically because you're going to put that money somewhere else. Okay. I'm saying that you can learn more about this tool. I'll give you a really easy analogy. Okay. If you're a bad driver, maybe your sister is a really horrible driver. Do you tell your sister to never drive again? You should just take the bus for the rest of your life. No, you wouldn't do that. Instead, you would say, hey, sister, let me take you outside. I'm going to teach you how to parallel park. I'm going to teach you some, you're going to get better with this vehicle. You're going to learn how to parallel park. You're going to learn about the safety features of your vehicle. Like, you're going to learn more about how to become a better driver. You're not going to never drive again. And I think that that's the message around debt that I don't like. I'm like, you're telling people to avoid this at all costs, no matter what, which is like telling a driver they should never drive again. Or could you, like the vehicle, the debt is a vehicle, just learn more about it and be able, like, you're not going to be able to do anything if you're emotional, losing sleep, and like stressed out about your debt anyways. You're going to make really irrational decisions one way or the other. You're going to overspend because you're stressed out. You're going to cut down all your niceties in life and hate your life. And while you're paying off your debt, like, you're already going to make these decisions that are not going to be enjoyable for your life. If you're already emotional and kind of wrapped up in how debt makes you feel. Some people are going to be like, yeah, but I really want this off. Ask yourself why. Yeah. Like, I thought about that for my loans. I can't believe I paid that much money for my student loans for a theater degree. However, I did use the debt to get a degree. I got something from that. Right. Did I see a return on it? Maybe with some of the stuff that I'm doing with grandma. I don't know. Maybe one of these days I'll be like, this is the theater degree. I don't know. I can't worry about that now. But, sometimes you take a loan for your business and it's making you more money, and that was the best thing to do, and you're able to service the loan with your business, fine. Then why are you so focused and wrapped up around paying off this loan? Focus on making more money. Then if you want to pay off the loan, buy more inventory, whatever it is that you want to do, just don't get wrapped up in this only idea that this is the one area that's going to make you financially free forever. Yeah. And I'm like, I actually think if you put as much emphasis on investing and multiplying your money and being that steward, you'll see a much greater and faster difference than solely focus on expenses and cutting out your debt.
Right. Right. I love that. That is such great advice, because when people do have a lot of debt, that's where all the emotions come in. It's like pay it off, pay it off, pay it off. But there is an energy that you can shift to making more. Yeah. So that like you said, you can leverage that. I love that you said that house is paying for the car. Like, oh, I just have so many like ideas right now running in my head. Like, okay, where can I put my money?
Right. I mean, there's just like, that's what I hope that this conversation inspires, is like, what can I do with my money to make more money? That is going to be the thing that changes your life quicker.
Yes. Yes. Can you share with us, you have so many great like resources
Mm-hmm.
and systems and paths. Can you share with us like your 7-step prosper path? Like I want to like go through that. I have like my Google Doc ready. I'm going to be taking notes. And this is how we can, like you said, get that clarity. Like,
Right.
because if we don't know what we're spending on, where our money's going, I'm telling you, I signed up for Rocket Money
Mm-hmm.
a couple years ago, and I could not believe I had like multiple accounts with like
Subscription.
the same subscriptions. Like I had like
Yeah.
Paramount Plus. I had it. I think I did like 2 free trials in a row, like on different email
Right.
accounts.
Right.
And then for years I was paying both accounts. And I'm just like, it was like eye-opening to see where money was being spent. I was seeing things like a membership to like a gym that I had not gone to in like 2 years. And I was like, do I really need that membership?
Right.
So I love that you talk about like, you have to see what your money is doing right now and where you want it to go to kind of make that plan. Get there.
And it allows you to pivot quickly when you actually track your money. And there's plenty of apps that will do that too. I do like having, so the 5-step money planner that I have for you guys, like I do like having that, especially even in my business, I do that. So you can kind of see like, what are the fixed expenses? What are the fluctuating expenses? And then, I like to just kind of have that in a year overview. So I do like to type it in. I don't necessarily stay to that budget necessarily. I then use the apps to like calculate everything I'm doing, right?
Yeah.
So I can see it in a year end, like from January to December, what money I'm spending. And then like you said, like, so you have this membership. Cool. Like I love canceling stuff. Like I love like I feel empowered when I can make informed decisions with my money. It's the opposite of what you're afraid. Why you're avoiding your money is you're afraid. And you actually feel the opposite once you get past the shame and the guilt and the frustration because you're frustrated with where you are. I know that. Like you said several times that I'm an inspiration. If I can do it, you know, you feel like you can. I didn't know this. I didn't come from financial experts. I didn't have a single family member that ever invested in real estate. All of our family thought we were crazy when we started. Like, I didn't know this either. And it just takes like learning and taking those steps. And I still love learning. And I still like, I love growing my financial education. It's, again, very empowering. I try to do something every Monday. I do Money Moves Monday. What's something I can do? What's an article I could read about crypto? I don't know anything about crypto. I want to kind of learn. Okay, what's a financial article that will just raise my IQ and my confidence to make some moves and steps? So that was big for me. So my 7-step prosper path, it's all based on adventure. If you don't know me, I love to travel and I love to do crazy things. I just got back off of Mount Kilimanjaro a couple of weeks ago.
That was wild. Oh my gosh. Just watching your stories, I was like, oh my gosh.
It was so cool. So much fun. And so I like to do crazy things. So it's all very adventure themed. And step 1 of my prosper path is how to become a trailblazer. What is a trailblazer? We've talked about this so many times. You need to see someone that has done it before you. You do not have to reinvent the wheel, but you do need to blaze likely your own trail based off anything that you've seen in your personal circle. Anybody that's building something new and breaking generational curses, you are the trailblazer. You're blazing the trail that wasn't there before you. But you have people you can look up to figure that out. So it's all about becoming a trailblazer. This is where we talk about, you know, I talk about the poverty mind and prosperity mind. Okay. Poverty mind is like, I can't believe she has the Louis Vuitton bag. Prosperity mind is like, who cares what bag she has? It makes no difference to my financial situation. So it's getting into that identity again. Identifying your money influencers, your 3 of them. What did you hear, learn, and experience? And then applying the mix shift framework. Step 2 in my path is orientation. We talked about this a little bit in the money planner. So if you don't know where your money is, you have no plan going forward. So it's all about getting a clear vision, staying motivated. What is it that you want? Like most people just don't even ask that. They think they want to be a best-selling author. I want to make 100K. I want to do ice baths every morning. Why? Because you're being influenced around that. But is it what you want? Is it actually what you want?
Right.
Like I got a whole list of accolades up here and I constantly look like things I want. And then like, did I actually want that? Or is it just like I saw someone do that and I thought that was cool? and I'll erase it and I'll rewrite like, what do I really want? For most of us, it's, I want to buy what I want when I want. That means like the real flex. I want to shop organic and I don't want to have to look at the price.
Yeah.
It's like these simple things. I want to be able to say yes to my kid when we're on a trip and they want a very overpriced souvenir.
Right.
They're simple things, but you have to get that vision so ingrained in your mind that it motivates you through all the suck. Because as you start to shift, the enemy is going to attack. Resistance will meet you when you're growing every single time. So if you don't have a clear vision, you are going to let resistance win, which is what's likely kept you where you are right now if you aren't where you want to be. Right. You're going to have to do the 5-step money planner. You're going to list your loans and debts, organize your credit cards. You know me, Ange. Credit card hack. I don't use debit cards. I'm like, that's like, can I just tell you a really sad story? Side note, someone who was following Dave Ramsey's program was like, I heard the story from a friend. I will love to have this conversation with her one day, but she was like, adamant follower. Great. I think he does some good things. That's fine. But she, for years, took some time to pay off her debt. And I think about all of the sacrifices she made, all the time she said no, and all the things that he, preaches. And she finally was debt free. She went down to go on the radio station and do the debt free scream. And she goes, I got there and they asked me on the questionnaire, do you have a credit card? And she said, I do. It's a Costco card, but I pay it off every month. And they would not let her do the debt free scream because she has a credit card. And I think that's crazy because you think about how many benefits these credit cards give you. I was able to fly to Tanzania with my husband on his 40th birthday, business class there and back. It saved me $20,000.
Oh my God.
By using credit card points that I don't pay a penny of interest on. So that's crazy to me. I think that's where I disagree with, there are different uses and forms of debt. So step 2, orientation. Step 3 is your pathfinding. Okay. Like this is your budgeting and saving tips. This is where you work on your fixed, fluctuating, and fudge money. Okay. I have this thing where you set up 5 fundamental accounts so you can actually have control over your money. You shouldn't just have a savings and a checking because what's going to happen? Savings goes down, checking goes up, checking goes in the savings, saving goes in the checking, and you're just going to keep robbing Peter to pay Paul. So a really good book that I recommend is, especially if you're a business owner, is Profit First. I love how he sets up different accounts. I've applied that to my business. I apply it a little bit differently to my personal life than my business life, but love it. It's really great. In pathfinding, we also talk about the gap, and that's like, we talked about your floor, your expenses having a floor, your income has no ceiling. We want to increase that gap. The more you increase that gap, the more you can get another payday, which is take the money in that gap and go multiply it. Step 4 is the debt trek. So we have a whole step that we go through your debt. I have a whole, if you go to the free resources in the bio, you can take my free debt class and you can learn a little bit more of how to release immediately the emotions that you have around debt. That's the point of that class. Step 5 is rain gear, how to prepare for the worst. So we talk about risk, right? And we're like, how do we make sure I'm, setting myself up? I go through an entire section of different ways that you can lower and mitigate your risk. Because I think, it's not a matter of if, things are always going to come up. Those tires are going to blow. You're going to get in a car accident. Like things happen that you can't prepare. Like you can't prepare for everything, but you can be more prepared through different steps that I give you to like lower and mitigate those risks. My step 6 is like making better time. Like so there's a huge relationship, we've already talked about it, between time and money. Huge relationship. So how do you get more of your time back while still increasing your money? I did a whole live event on this and it was amazing. I have the replay inside of my Prosper Path because there were so many breakthroughs. Like people are like, why do I have an hour meeting with my clients? Yeah, it's not necessary and it doesn't help them or you. Can you still close the sale without this long process because you think that if you give more of your time, that means more value, but that's not always the case. And then the step 7 is like the summit. This is where we focus on the other side of the category. How do you increase your money? There's so many different bonuses I give in my Prosper Path too. The best way, honestly, to kind of get in my ecosystem is just go to my website, check out the link in the description notes, like, go in there, download some freebies, start filling out the money planner, connect with me on Instagram. Honestly, like, I love making internet friends. It's one of my favorite things. I love it. So like, ask me your questions, and I love answering them. Like you said, Angie, I am someone that wants to give because I didn't know who to talk to. I didn't have anybody to answer these questions about money and investing and why do I feel this way? I didn't have that. I had it through books. And as I started to grow and learn and have like mentors through books, like that helped me build my confidence.
I love that.
But I think it is important that we have these conversations. I think it's really, I wrote down some stuff to work on for today. And it's like, it's so unrealistic to get wrapped up around this idea that money comes quickly and that, in a short year, you're just going to be sitting on a beach, sipping a Mai Tai and making $10,000 a month. I think that's really an unrealistic, unfair expectation that influencers put on people. Ryan and I have been grinding for 13 years. I don't think it takes you 13 years, because if you go and hire coaches and if you go and hire the right people, they can condense time. That's ultimately what you're doing, is they help you condense time. It doesn't have to take as long as it took us. Like, that's the thing, is we're the trailblazer. We can give you those things that like can save you time and help you avoid some of the mistakes that we made. But it does take time. Anything worth building takes time. Anything sustainable takes time. There's a lot of ways you can go make a lot of money, like right now, really quick. It's not lasting money. It'll come, it'll go, and you'll be like, what the heck? Where's it? I don't understand. And then you're going to sign up for another MLM, and you're going to, I don't know, you're going to do another launch. Like, you're just going to constantly be going after shiny object syndrome instead of focusing and being consistent. Be consistent, work at it, like work at the thing. Now, if you're in a place where your business is not making money and you've already been in it for a very long time, then maybe you need to pivot, and this is your permission to pivot. Like, but that's not like going after all the things. This isn't get rich quick. Like, it is, I feel like for us, like, I can't really say this technically, but like real estate for us was a get rich guarantee. It's not a get rich quick, but over a long time, done right, it works. And I'm an example, and so are lots of other people. And same with stocks, same with other things. And I don't know. I just think that we need to have more realistic expectations that it takes time, and it's worth that. And if you haven't started, just start today. Like, that's the best thing you can do. What did they say? The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. Second best time is today.
I love that. I love that. Janine, thank you so much. I have so many thoughts and notes, and I'm just like, I don't know. It's like you always help me to dream bigger and to just see the opportunities in life, in business, in finances. Like, you guys have to go to Janine's Instagram and see everything she's doing. If you see the old lady outfit, click on it, please, because I literally sent it to so many people. So funny. You like have your group of people that you send funny stuff to. And I was like, click, 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 click. Like, all these people need to see this. Like, let's enjoy life now. Let's go down a path where we can be financially free sooner rather than at 80 years old, where at that point it's like, what are you doing? So, and
there were so many people we saw on that trip. So I was doing the grandma, and I was trying not to offend people, it's comedy. So hopefully people laugh, and comedy is subjective. So some people will hate it. Some people will love it. But as I was there in Puerto Rico with grandma, there were tour buses getting off, and there were many, many steps, and it was very hot. And there were many times that people didn't get to go see. They're finally on this destination. They're seeing the world through a tour bus window, and then they can't physically go and enjoy the place that the bus just stopped, because we get old, our bodies fail. Like, there's so many things. And that's the whole point of showing grandma, is like, don't do what grandma does. Like, don't be on the beach by yourself because you cut out all your, you cut out all your date nights. You don't hang out with your friends, and sure, you paid off your debt, but you didn't live. And I think that there's something to say, I think, in our generation, that is dismissing the old way of doing things. Like, things. You know, it's like, okay, we can understand the value of money, understand the value of when to pay off debt, but we are not the generation that's going to be like, at the sacrifice of everything, including my current life. No, we are the generation that sees opportunity, that starts businesses, that thinks outside the box, that's like, wait, I could live now. I could live now. And it's not either or, right? That's the poverty mindset's going to be like, you have to, I can't do blank until this, you know, like that's the poverty mindset that's going to tell you you can't live until this is paid off. You can't do X until you've gotten this down. You can live. Again, it's not a dismissal of like your personal responsibility of like YOLO. I'm not saying YOLO and go hurt yourself. But it is like live, use money to enjoy and become the best steward of this, because ultimately I believe more money in the hands of women will change the world. And my goal is to get more women empowered to want this money, to grow with this money, to maximize it, be amazing stewards so that we can go change the world. Because I've seen money, hard-earned cash, save lives, literally buy back daughters from human trafficking. Like, I want to do more of that. And I know you do too. I know deep down inside of every woman, we are wired for contribution. It's not just like a scorecard for us where we're like, we want to be successful. We want to be successful. And then when you get there, you're like, wait, how do I help others? How do I help my community? How do I help social justice causes? Like, let's go do more of that. And guess what's going to make that a heck of a lot easier and make a really big difference on some of your favorite organizations and things is money. It's just a tool. It's not everything. It's just a tool. Let's go be amazing stewards of this tool, make a bunch of it, and go bless people with it. Like, you are blessed to be a blessing. Let's go do that.
Janine, mic dropped. Mic dropped. Thank you so much for sharing. This was a really like in-depth, just like meaty episode. And I am just excited for everyone to tune in, to take away, think about their money event, think about where they are now, what action steps they can take to reach future goals, and just like really start talking about money. I feel like a lot of people don't talk about money. So thank you for being open in this conversation and just showing us the possibilities. And I'm just so inspired by you always, always.
I love it. Thank you for having me. This has been amazing. I absolutely love having conversations with you about money, and I'll have these any day, all day.
Stay tuned, Janine, for another hypothetical Vox from me about what should we do. But I will put everything in the show notes for our listeners. So go check out Janine, go check out her social and her freebies. And thanks for being here. Hey, friend, thank you so much for tuning into the Angie McPherson Show. I hope this episode ignited a fire within you, motivating you to take bold and inspired action. As a gift for listening, I've created a free download of my business toolkit featuring all the essential tools and apps I use to grow my business. Just head over to angiemcpherson.com/toolkit to get your copy. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing and leaving a rating or review wherever you're listening. And if you're feeling extra generous, sharing the podcast with a friend goes a long way, and I am truly grateful for your support. For any resources and links mentioned in today's episode, make sure to check out the show notes. Keep moving forward, friend, as each step takes you closer to your goals. I'll catch you next week for another episode.